Okay, so we discussed what is IRR, and then we discussed decision rule also. So if your IRR is greater than cost of capital, you can accept the project, and if your IRR is less than your cost of capital, then you can reject the project. And then we have told you how to calculate IRR. Okay, so yesterday I told you, previous class, it is on Saturday I told you. So there are two ways of calculating IRR. One is trial error method. This is what you can see there in the below the formula, where you're going to calculate the NPV for taking randomly different discount rate. So you take 10% and 12%. So one higher rate and one lower rate. Okay, and then you calculate the NPV, and if your NPV is coming 0, that is your IRR. Got it? If your NPV is getting 0, that is your IRR. Say for example, you are calculating NPV using 10%, and you got 10%, you got NPV as 0. Then 10% is your IRR, that is internal rate of return. You don't understand? But in case you don't get for 10%, then you have to go for 12%, 13%, and again you have to go down for, you can reduce the rate also like 8%, 7%. So you have to keep doing it with different discount rate till you get NPV as 0. That is called as trial and error method of calculating IRR. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The only drawback of this method of calculating IRR is it will consume a lot of time. Okay, it will take a lot of time for you to calculate. So that is why what we can do is there is one more method is called as annuity method. Okay, one more method is called as annuity method, where we are going to calculate IRR using the annuity table. Okay, so please listen here. All of you, please look at the screen and look at the steps. I'm going to explain now how to calculate IRR using annuity method. I'm going to teach this method because you already know how to calculate NPV. So only thing is it will take a lot of time. So you may not be doing that in your exam time also. Okay, so that is why we will go to the annuity table. So you can see there the different steps which have been mentioned. Okay, so first step is you have to calculate payback period. Okay, you have to calculate payback period of the proposed investment. Second, after that, you have to use present value annuity table. All of you have this table right with you? Yes or no? This table already been shared in your second trimester, time value of money. All of you are having this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this table, you have to open the table, and then you have to see where is this payback period coming in this table. Where you have to see in the present value table of annuity, PV factor annuity table. You have to see in where you have to see is you have to see the life of the project. Say for example, your life of the project is say 5 years. You have to see in the 50 year line. 50 year line, you have to see where this payback period is coming. If you get exactly the same payback period, that is your IRR. But 99.999% you will not get that. You will not get that. So what you have to do is you can go to the third step. What is the third step? In the year row, you have to find two present values or discount factors closer to payback period, but one bigger and one smaller than me. So you take 1% higher than payback period and 1% lower than payback period. And from the top row of the table, you have to write down the interest rate, where it is coming. So it can be 10% and say 12%. So write down 12%. So what are the interest rate factor? You write down that. And then 10%. What is that? You write down. And then last formula is, before that, we have to convert these cash flows, whatever is given there, into present value of cash flow. You have to convert that into present value of cash flow. Somebody is raising hand. Who is that? Okay. Okay. So you have to convert the cash flow into present value of cash flow using these discount factor. If your discount factor you take and say is 10% and 12%, now go to present value factor table, write down the 10% discount factor for first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, whatever is the year of your project, and then you multiply with your factor and you'll get the cash flows. You'll be able to convert that cash flow into present value interest factor. Yeah, Sarana, they have to come on time. They are not coming on time. That is why I'm making them to wait in the waiting room. Let them wait. Okay, and then we have to calculate present value of cash flows for lower rate and for higher rate. And then we have to apply the IRR formula by using interpolation. There is one way of calculating IRR using interpolation formula, which I'll show you now in the next slide. Got it? So when you apply that, you'll be able to calculate IRR. Okay, you can refer this. It is there in the source I mentioned there in the bottom. Your Khan and Jain book, that is the Tata Micro Hill publication. You can refer there, you will be able to see the full steps. Okay. Next, how to calculate payback period. You already know how to calculate payback period, right? We are used, which formula we are used? First one or second one?
First one, sir.
First one, sir.
Which one we use?
First one, sir.
Yeah, we are used first one. Second one? Second we use? No. Okay. So we have used the first formula. We can use same formula. Only condition is if your cash inflows are even. So every year you're getting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Then that is a cash inflow which is even. You can apply first formula. And if your cash inflows are uneven, you cannot use that formula. Okay. So we have to use one more formula. It is actually called as modified or fake payback period. That is, the formula is initial investment divided by average annual cash flows. So what we are doing is we are actually slightly modifying our denominator. The numerator is same, initial investment, it is not going to change, but denominator we are going to change to average annual cash flow. When your cash flows are given, say first year 10,000, second year 15,000, third year 20,000, fourth year 15,000. So you add all that and divide by number of years, you will get the average annual cash flow. And using this formula, you can calculate modified or fake payback period. Okay. Once you get the payback period, then you look in the annual table where this payback period is lying in the same number of years, and then you select one for one rate which is higher rate, another rate which is lower rate. Okay. And then this is what is called as interpolation formula. We can apply this formula to calculate the exact IRR. So what is the formula? LDF percentage plus PV LDF minus COF divided by PV LDF minus PV HDF into delta DF. Okay. So below you can see the abbreviation, the full forms of abbreviation. What is LDF? Anyone?
Lower discount factor.
Yeah. And what is PV LDF?
Present value of cash flows at LDF.
Yeah. Present value of cash flows at lower discount factor. And PV HDF?
Present value of cash flows at HDF.
At the HDF means what? Higher discount factor. I think I didn't mention that, sorry. HDF is what? I said now you take two, right? So one is lower, one is higher. So 10% then 12% if you take. So 10% is lower discount factor, 12% is higher discount factor. Okay. When we're using those factors when you calculate present value of cash flow. Okay. If you're using lower discount factor, it is called PV-LDF. If you're using higher discount factor, it is called PV-HDF. And what is COF? Cash outflow. And what is delta DF? That is difference between, pardon?
HDF minus LDF.
Yeah, very simple. It is different between the discount factors. that is HDF minus LDF, and then you apply that in your formula, you get the IRR. Okay, I know it may be bouncing you something what we are discussing. Anyways, I'll show you on the board. Today, that's why I thought I'll solve it on the board. I'll show you how to do it step by step. Is it clear? Any doubt before we go to the problem? Any doubt? Did you understand IRR? How to calculate? This is the methods you have to follow. The steps you have to follow. Understood, students? And all these steps you have to show in your answer, okay, when you are doing it. Any doubt? If no doubts, please tell me, then I can move to the problems.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, understood, right? Yeah. So these formulas, please note down. And then merit, demerits, I think already we discussed in the previous class. I think merits and demerits, you can read it. I will, it's already there in the LMS, you can download and read that. So we will directly go to the problems, okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
So this PPT is not available in LMS, sir.
it is not there.
No, sir.
I think it is hidden actually, it is there, it is hidden. Okay, I'll make it visible, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it is there, I think it is hidden. I'll make it visible to all of you. Okay, yeah. Question number, which is the question number we have to solve now?
Question number 6, sir.
Question number 6. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very small question, a very simple question. So any one of you please read.
A project need an investment of rupees 1,38,500. The cost to capital is 12%. The net cash inflows are as follow. Years one for CF80 30,000, second year 40,000, third year 60,000, fourth year 30,000, and fifth year 20,000. Calculate IRR and suggest whether projects should be accepted or not.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. So our project cash outflow. How much is cash outflow? Students?
1,38,000.
Yeah, the investment, whatever they're doing, that is actually called cash outflow. Okay. So 1,38,500. And what is this cost of capital? 12%. Why it is given? Normally that we use actually when you are doing trial error method, it will be helpful for you. Or else it is actually given for you to do what? To decide whether to accept or reject. So what are the decision rule for IRR? How will you say whether to accept or reject the project? Just now I told you beginning of the class.
If it is more than the discount rate.
More than what?
Cost of capital.
Yeah, that is a decision factor. This is given for you mainly to whether to accept or reject the project. Got it? So if your cost of capital is 12%, then your IRR should be what? Higher than or lower than this?
Higher than.
Higher than 12%, then you have to accept. If it is lower than 12%, then you have to reject the project. That is why the cost of capital is given there. Okay. Next, he has given CF80. What is CF80? Cash flow after tax. Okay. So 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, 30,000, and 20,000. So he's asking you to calculate IRR, and you have to suggest whether project should be accepted or rejected. Okay, student, do you understand the question? So cash outflow is given, cash inflows are given for 5 years. That means the life of the project is 5 years, and cost of capital is given. So then we have to calculate now IRR. So what is the first step? What I want to do now first?
We need to find payback period.
We need to first calculate the payback period. First, we need to calculate the payback period. Okay. Let me do it now on the board. Please let me know whether you are able to see the board or not when I'm writing it. Able to see me?
Yes, sir.
So what are the first step? Yeah. So step number one, right here, calculation of IRR, internal rate of return. All of you please write down calculation of IRR. Okay. So first step is what? Let's calculate whether cash inflows are even or uneven. In this question,
Uneven, sir.
uneven.
Uneven.
What period method formula are going to use? Are you going to use the normal period or modified period? I'll tell you.
Modified.
Cash inflows are uneven. We have to use modified payback period. In other textbooks, it's also called as phase payback period. Okay. So write down modified payback period. So what is the formula? Initial investment divided by what? Average annual cash flow. Initial investment divided by average annual cash flow. Is it clear, students? Now, initial investment I know, but average annual cash flow I don't know. How to calculate that? How to calculate average annual
Of cash flows.
Add all the cash flow. 5 years cash flow. Totally, how much you're getting? That is, first year 30,000, 40,000, 30,000, 30,000 plus 20,000. Add all that. How much you're getting? That is
1,80,000.
1,80,000.
50,000 plus 40,000, then 50,000, then 30,000 again, plus 20,000. Then 4 divided by how much?
5.
5. Why 5?
5 years is given.
5 years.
Those are for 5 years. So divide by how much you get?
36,000.
Huh?
36,000.
36,000
6,000.
you got the average annual cash. Now we can calculate modified payback period. So calculate modified payback period equal to how much is the initial investment they have to do? It is given in question. Please read.
1,38,500.
1,38,500 divided by average annual cash flow already calculated, that is 36,000. So please divide that, students, and tell me how much you get.
3.85.
0.84.
Pardon me,
3.85.
5.
3.8,
5.
5.
that is 4.7, no? Don't round up because we have to check this number in PV table. 3.8, what are the next for 2 digits?
4,7.
4.
7.
4.7. Okay, so please don't round up because this is very, very important to search in the PV table. So first step is over. What is the second step I told? Second,
We need to look the table.
yeah, which table you have to see? Present value, annuity table. Okay. Okay. All of you are having, right? Please open your table. Hope it is there in your laptop or your whatever you are using. So PV table, I think I already opened it and kept. Yeah. So now where we have to go? Present value annuity table I want. Present value annuity table. This is my present value annuity table. So now you check where is this 3.847 line. Where I want to check in the number of years. What are the number of years now?
5.
You are not able to see, no, sorry, I have to share the screen. 1 minute. Yeah, now you are able to see. This is the present value of an annuity interest factor table. You have to open, and then we have to search in the line of to the number of years the project is for. How many years is the project for? 5 years. Now you see this is your N. N is here. This is your N. So now you check this is for how many years? This project 5 years. In the 5th year, you have to check now where is 3. What is that? 3.487. Now you tell me where is 3.487 coming?
So 3.847.
3.847.
847.
3.847. Yeah, where is that 3.847?
That's sir 9%.
Nearer to
9%.
yes, sir, 9%.
How much is that? 3.890. That is, it is higher than 3.847, right? So I told, right, you will not get actually exact number. Very rarely you will get. If you get, that is your IRR. No need to go for any other steps. Okay? No need to calculate a present value of cash flows. No need to use the interpolation formula. Directly you can do it. But 99.99% you will not get students. Okay? So now you have to take one number higher than 3.847, one lower than 3.847. Now tell me which one shall we take? Tell me now one IR value which is more than 3.847.
3.993. 3.890. 890.
3.890. Okay.
And lower 3.791.
3.79. That is 10%. Yeah. One more thing. When you are doing it, actually better to take at least a little higher, more difference to be there. Don't take very close number. See, 3.890 is very closer to 3.847, right? Yes or no? So better you go to the next digit. Go to the go to 8%. How much is 8%?
3.993.
Yeah, 3.993 is better. Yes or no? It is little different. So better to take a little more difference. Don't take very closer value. So we can take 8% at 3.993 as a lower discount factor, and higher discount factor we can take 10%, but it's 3.791. Okay, so we are taking these two. We are taking 8%, 3.993, and then we are taking 3.791. So 3.79 is a lower value and 3.993 is a higher value. So your 3.847 lies in between these two. Yes or no? So we are taking 8% and 10%. So 8% is your low discount factor, 10% is your higher discount factor. Any confusion? Did you understand? Any doubt? Anybody? This is very, very important step. Many students does the wrong in the IRR because of this step only. Other step they do right, but this is where they go wrong in taking the percentage. Understood, students? Yes or no? Please give confirmation. Or you have any doubt, please ask.
So what if we take 9%?
9% you can take, but problem is it is very, very higher. It's very nearby. So what is my suggestion is don't take the very nearby values. The more difference is better, because this the more difference what you have, what happens, your interpolation formula will give you a very good answer. You'll get a very accurate answer. Sometimes, for example, if it is a wrong answer is very nearby your taking, means what happens, you are, when you calculate NPV, it may not give you 0 NPV. Then again you have to, again you should do once again. Understood? Again you have to calculate once again the, take again a different percentage, then again you have to calculate. So to avoid that, so what happens in the trial error method, they have to keep doing till you get NPV 0. In case the NPV is not coming 0, it comes negative or positive, then again you have to change. So that is what in the trial error method. So we are not doing that method, we are doing annuity method. So in the annuity method, we normally try to take the little higher value, or else again you have to do again and again. Got it? That's the main reason. Any other doubts? Did you understand? Shall we go to the next step? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So all of you please write down this. Please write down this, what I'm going to tell now. We find that the modified payback period, hope you are writing, the modified payback period of 3.847 lies in between madam 10% in the bracket write down 3.791 and please write down what I'm taking, and 8%, that is 3.993 in the line of 5 years, okay, all of you did you write? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, you are coming next week, right? And check your notes. This time you can't escape. Second trimester you escape. This semester you can't escape. All of you please write down. Okay? Before you come to Bangalore, complete your notes and come. Okay? In the line of 5 years. Right on? Understood? Now what we have to do? Now we have to calculate present value of cash flows using 9%, 8% and 10% discount factor. So now what we have to do, since we have selected now, once we selected the discount rate, now we have to go to present value of interest factor without annuity. Now go to present value of interest factor. And then you find out the factor rates. Okay. Yeah. So now you see that after that you have to now come to present value interest factor. Now you come to the present value interest factor table, and then because we have to calculate now the present value factor, present value of cash flows for 8% and 10%. So now you see 8% is here, 8%. So interest factors are first year 0.926, second year 0.5857, next third year 0.749, 0.794, then fourth year 0.735, fifth year 0.681. That is for 8%. Then 10%, it's here you can see first year is 0.909, second year 0.826, then 0.751 and 0.683, then 0.621. So these are the factors we want to take now. Okay. Let me do it now on the board. Now write down. So first step is over. Third step, second step already we have done. That is finding out the discount factors. The third step is calculation of
Sir, what is second step, sir?
second step we have done now. Calculating the discount factors. We have found right 8% and 10%. That is second.
Okay, sir.
Finding the lower discount factor and one higher discount factor in the present value and the table. Got it? But some way to write down right your note, right? That is your second step. Whatever I gave dictation now, you written that. Okay? Present value of cash inflows. Calculation of present value of cash inflows. Okay? So draw now the table. We will do it in the table format and very easy for you. So first column is here. Second column is cash flow after tax, CF80. And then discount factor. So we have two right? One is 10%, one is 8%. Then next is your present value of cash flow. That is at 8%, 10% and 8%. So draw this table. So here, then CF80, then discount factor 10% and 8%, then present value of cash flow 8% and 10%. Are you able to see the board, students? I think you may have.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the board?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we write down here we have 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And first year cash flow is 30,000. Second is how much?
40,000.
40,000. Third year
60,000.
60,000. Fourth year
30,000.
40,000. And fifth year
20,000.
20,000. 20,000. You can see one more screen where I put the PV table. From the table, you tell me for 10% how much is the discount factor for first year. 10% first year, please tell me, any one of you. Visit the next screen, change your screen and check. Go to the next page. 10% how much is first year interest rate, interest factor.
One per.
No, first year, not 0 year. 0 year is 1.
0.909.
909.
909. Second year,
0.828.
8 to
866.
8 to 6, sir.
yeah. Next,
0.751.
751. Fourth year,
0.659.
6836.
683.
8. Fifth year,
0.621.
0.621. Now tell me for 8%.
0.926.
0.926.
26.
Next,
0.857.
857. Next,
0.794.
7.
94.
94.
94.
Next,
0.735. 735.
0.735.
1135.
Next, last 5th year,
0.681.
681. Okay. Okay. So now we are able to see the input table. So first year, cash flows, return of factors. Now you multiply very simply. Just multiply your C of 80 into 10% discount factors. That is 30,000 into 0.909. How much you get?
27,270.
27,270. Next, 40,000 into 0.826.
33,040.
33,040.
40.
Next, 60,000 into 0.751.
45,060.
45,060.
60.
Next, 30,000 into 0.683.
20,490.
20,490. Next, 20,000 into 0.621.
12,420.
12,420. And we go to this.
Total 1,38,280. 38,280.
38,280. How have you got this answer? Anybody is getting different answer? No? Now we will calculate for 8%. Now again you multiply 30,000 into discount factor for 8%. For first year is 0.926. Multiply. How much you get?
27,780.
27,780. Next, 40,000 into 0.857.
34,280.
33,040, sir.
34.
34,280, sir.
Yeah, correct. Next, 60,000 into 0.794.
47,640.
47,
640.
640. Next, 30,000 into 0.735.
2250.
20,
2050. 050.
yeah. Last, 20,000 into 0.681.
13,620.
13,000.
620.
620.
Yeah. Kindly go to now on the minus.
1,45,130.
All of you please do it. You have to show me your notes when you come back. 4th August. How much students? Total
1,45,370.
1,45,370. Correct? 1,45,370. All of you got?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you get this, what is the last step now? Now I know the present value of cash flow and higher discount factor, that is PV LDF. This is your PV HDF. This is your 8% is your PV LDF. This is PV HDF, this is PV LDF. Present value at higher discount factor and present value at lower discount factor. We got it. And cash outflow we know. So apply the formula, you get the IRR. Okay. Any doubt in preparing this table? Calculating the present value of cash flows. Anybody has any doubt before we go to the last step? No? Do you understand, students? It's very simple. There's nothing, not very difficulty in this. Okay. Hope you understood. Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Where we are going to use the interpolation formula and calculate IRR, internal rate of return. That will be our last step. Step number 4. Calculation of IRR. So IRR, formula I already shared with you. All the formula, if you are written down, did you write down the formula when I showed on the screen? That is
LDF
LDF
percentage
plus
plus PVLDF minus
PVLDF minus
POF wala.
Cash outflow.
PVLDF minus
yeah. You want to apply
PVLDF
PVLDF
minus
PVHDF
into delta TF. That on the formula, this is called interpolation formula for calculating IRR. LDF percentage plus PVLDF minus COF divided by PVLDF minus PHDF to delta TF. So we have taken two factors, right? One LDF, one HDF. So LDF, how much we have taken? How much did we take LDF?
0.08.
0.08%, right? You write percentage only here. Don't convert to decimal. So 8 you will write. LDF we taken 10%. So here we will write lower decimal factor 8 plus PV LDF. PV LDF is nothing but your present value of lower decimal factor. That means we have done just now a table, right? The table calculation, you see at 8%. So LDF is 8%, lower decimal factor. 8%. How much is your total of your present value of cash flow? How much we have?
1,45,370.
1,45,370. 370 minus COF. How much is the cash outflow?
1,38,500.
1,38,500
500.
divided by PVLDF. Already got right? 1,45,000 and PVHDF. That is the rate of 10%. How much we got the present value of the cash flows? Total
1,38,280.
1,38,280.
280.
Close the bracket. Need to change in DF. What is that change in DF? Delta DF. HDF minus LDF. HDF is how much? 10%.
7,090.
Then 8%, right? 10% and 8%.
Yes, sir.
What is it? 10% and 8%. So now you simplify further. 8% less. You minus this numerator. How much you get? 1,45,670 minus 1,38,500.
6,870.
6,870.
870 divided by minus the numerator now.
7,000.
085.
Pardon me?
7,090.
7,019 into 10 minus 8. 10 minus 8.
2.
How much?
2, sir.
2. Don't use calculator for that. Simple calculation. Yeah. So now you can be how much you getting? 8 less. You calculate 6,870 versus 7,090 into 2. How much you get?
0.96.
1.937.
Yeah, what's the right answer? Good answers. Others?
1.9379.
1.9379.
1.9379.
79.
Definitely So 1.938 you get. So now you add how much you get?
9.938.
Yeah. 9.938 multiplied by 4. So IRR is 9.94. Got it? So IRR is 9.94%. So IRR is what? We have taken 1% higher, that is 10% and 8%. So where is IRR right? It is in between these two. Got it now? In case you have taken 9%, what happens? You can take it wrong answer. That's why we take 9%. So it is actually more than 9%. Got it? From 10 and 8% we have taken. Why? Better to take a higher, more difference so that we have a right answer. Got it? So we got IRR 9.94%. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. No doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now everybody read next question for us. Question number 7.
A company has to select one of the following two projects. Here, project X, project Y. Project X 11,000, project Y 10,000. In first year, project X 6,000 and Y 1,000. And year 2, second year, project X 2,000 and project Y 1,000. Third year, project X 1,000, project Y 2,000. Fourth year, project X 5,000, project Y 10,000. Calculate IRR, suggest the best alternative on the above basis.
Yeah. Now tell me, I think for question number 8, we didn't write the conclusion. What is the conclusion I'm going to write?
Not accept, sir.
Yeah.
So we will not
IRR
accept
is less
this
than
one.
cost of capital.
Yeah, we should not accept that. Okay. Why?
IRR is less than cost of capital.
Yeah, we should not accept that because IRR was how much we got?
9.94.
9.9.
9.94.
So what is the cost of capital?
12%.
12%. So please write the conclusion. I forgot to write that. Write down. Since the IRR is, write down in your notes. Since this is for question number 8. Sorry, question number 6. Conclusion. Okay. Since the IRR is lesser than cost of capital, lesser than cost of capital, right in the bracket, that is IRR we got is how much? 9.94%. 9.94%. Put the lesser symbol, lesser than 12%. Or you want me to write? You got it right? So
Yes.
9.94% lesser than, use this lesser than symbol, lesser than 12%. Close the bracket. Close the bracket. Then write full stop. Then continue. Therefore, the project should not be accepted. The project should not be accepted. Full stop. Okay, this is the conclusion you have to write. If you don't write conclusion, you lose 1 marks. Okay, even though your answer is correct, if you don't write the conclusion, you lose 1 mark. Okay, so what did you write? The IRR is lesser than cost of capital, 9.94% less than 12%, close the bracket, full stop. Hence, or therefore, the project should not be accepted, or you can write the project should be rejected. Whatever you want, you can write in your own style of writing. Got it? All of you wrote conclusion? Should I
Yes, sir.
repeat again? No, right? Yeah, I think somebody is messaged something. Sir, can please repeat which is HDF, LDF? Who messaged this one? Sneha Charyo, please did you understand? Sneha, can you unmute? Sneha, please.
Sir, now I got it, sir. I understood.
How understood, no?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
See, when I'm writing on the board, I'm actually what happens is I'll not be looking at the chart. Okay, so better you can unmute and ask me there itself. So on the board itself, I can show you what is what. Got it? So next time, any doubt you have, since I'm not using Excel, I'm using directly the board. So please unmute and ask me so that I'll be able to answer your query immediately on the spot only. Got it? Okay. So now question number 12. Question number, question number 7. So here what he has given? He has given two projects. Okay, project X and project Y. Okay, then what he has given? And then he has given cash flows for how many years?
4 years.
4 years. That means the life of the project is only 4 years. And what is this 0 year? Why he has given that?
Initial investment.
Yeah, this is my initial investment. That is 11,000 and 10,000. Got it? So there are two projects here. So initial investment for X is 11,000 and cash flows are 6,000, 2,000, 1,000, 5,000. And for project Y, the initial investment is 10,000. Cash flows are 1,000, 1,000, 2,000 and 10,000. Okay. So we have to calculate IRR and then we have to say which is better. And what is missing in this question compared to the previous question?
Cost of capital.
For capital. Why has not given us? So how do you decide?
Based on two projects.
Okay, based on the project what?
By comparing, sir.
Yeah.
Comparing both the projects.
And which will you select when you compare? What will be your criteria for selecting?
So whichever is higher.
Yeah, whichever gives you the higher rate. Whichever gives you the higher rate. Clear? So this will be your homework for today. What you have to do is you calculate IRR. Will you do for both or you want to do any one? It's a very 4 years only. You can do it in 20 minutes. You can finish. So please do the calculate IRR for question number 7 for project X and Y, and please submit in LMS. Okay. Today only you have to submit. Okay. So today only you have to do it and submit it today night. Maybe before 10 o'clock. Is it fine? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So write question number 7 and write the assignment or homework you write, and please do that. And the video is there. Today only I'll upload the video in the YouTube. You can see the video and you can doubt it. And still, if you have any doubt, you can chat with me in the WhatsApp. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll go to our.
Could you share that NET table in groups?
You already have, no? That one last year, Baby sir have shared, no? Don't what?
I forgot somewhere.
I will share, sir.
Okay, I'll share in the group, no problem. I'll share that in the group, no problem. Okay, yeah. So where we stop? Here we stop. So merits of IRR. So it is we consider the time value of money, because we are seeing that now we have converted the cash flows, future cash flows into present value of cash flow. That is your time value of money. So it takes into account the total cash flows generated by any project over the entire life of the project. And second one, IRR is a very much acceptable capital budgeting method in real life, as it measures profitability. Yeah, it measures profitability of the project in percentage, and it can easily compare with the opportunity cost of the capital. That is what we have done, right? We have calculated IRR, we got 9.97 something, and then we compared that with the opportunity cost was our cost of capital, we got 12%. Since it was less than the opportunity cost, what we did, we rejected. Okay, and it is consistent with the overall objective of the maximizing shareholders' wealth. So it will help you to, whenever you accept the project, whichever gives you the return, which is more than the cost of capital, what happens is actually indirectly you are maximizing your shareholders' wealth. That means you'll get profits. Got it now? When you have more profits, you'll get a good return to the shareholders. How they'll get a good return? The moment you make more profit, the moment this news goes to the public in the media, either in the newspaper or in the the television channels, news channels. Okay, what happens is people will think, oh, this company is very good. Then what happens automatically in the stock market? What will happen to your company's share price? What will happen to your company's share price if you get a good profit this year?
It increases.
Your share price will increase. The moment your share price increases, what we have done is we have actually maximized our shareholders' wealth. So our shareholders will be very happy. They'll be very happy now because their wealth is increased now. Maybe when they purchase the share price will be 100 rupees, now it became 120 rupees or 150 rupees. So you have increased their share by 50%. Got it? If it becomes 200, you increase their wealth by 100%. Got it? That is how you are actually able to maximize the shareholders' wealth. Understood? Merits and demerits, it requires a lengthy and complicated calculations. Yes, we have to go through a lot of tables. We have to compare present value annuity, then present value simple annuity, simple present value factor, then multiply, then you calculate, then you put the interpolation formula, and then calculate. But if you are doing a trial error method, it will take more longer time. So this what I thought actually is a very simple way of doing it without any complications. If I want to do a trial error method, it will become more complicated and it's a time consuming. Okay, if you really want to do in the trial error method. And then when projects under considerations are mutually exclusive, IRR may give conflicting results. Okay, because we may get multiple IRRs for the same, especially when there are non-conventional cash flows. Okay, when the cash inflows are not constant. And it does not satisfy the value of additive principle, which is the unique virtue of NPV. That means what? What do you mean by the value of additivity principle? We discussed this particular concept in when we were discussing NPV. I was discussing the merits of NPV. I told you this value of additivity principle. Anybody remembers? Dear students. What is the value additivity principle? Forgot. Okay, today that is your homework. Please read the PPT and tell me next class. What do you mean by the value additivity principle? That is one of the merit or virtue of NPV that we cannot do it in IRR. I can't explain now because you are not telling me the answer. So next class, please tell me. Then I'll explain to you what is that is not possible with the IRR, which is possible with the NPV. Okay, I think with this we will stop it now because we have another couple of classes lined up for the day, and then last hour you have executive coaching. Yeah. Any doubt till now what all we discussed, students?